Hi Virgo, how are we today? Just doing our reading for the week there. I'm just sort of doing a little bit of whatever sort of wants to come on out today. I am sort of splitting it up into energy versus sort of reality, but I also have quite a few decks with me today that we can draw from as well. But for the energy sort of thing, we will be looking with the Paper Oracle Lenormand deck there. When it comes to the day-to-day, we've got the Slavic Folklore Lenormand deck there. I do also have the Island Time Wellness, as well as my personal deck that's just got letters, months and signs in that as well. But starting off our readings today, I have this, it's a book called A Guide for the Advanced Soul, a book of insight. So we're going to be starting off with a quote for you for this week, Virgo. Okay, let me see. Okay, Virgo, I feel like this one's for you. Cease trying to work everything out with your minds. It will get you nowhere. Live by intuition and inspiration and let your whole life be a revelation. Okay, and that's by Eileen Caddy, Footprints on the Path. So, yeah, following our intuition and inspiration and talking about, getting out of our logical mind space a little bit and following sort of, your intuition and your heart and things being revealed to you. Okay, so that's interesting energy for you there, Virgo. But we'll get started into Virgo and their energy this week, please. Virgo, what's going on with Virgo, please? Okay, and just one more for Virgo and their energy, please. Okay, so Virgo, we're seeing the birds, the book, and the scales there. Okay, so when we're talking on the more physical side of things, we are looking at energy, but this birds card can talk about important phone calls. So I feel as though there may be a phone call setting off something within your energy at the moment there, Virgo. But the birds does sort of just talk a lot about that chitter chatter. So it's going to be I feel as though it's going to be talking about having a bit of a chat to yourself. Okay, and having a bit of a gossip to yourself about, because it can talk about gossip and chitter chatter, but also like that sense of excitement. So I'm kind of getting a dual message here, because the next two cards I've drawn for you there, the book and then the scales there. I feel as though that birds card is kind of interacting with them both individually, and it's kind of telling me, be excited about the next chapters coming into your life, Virgo. You feel as though you're at this point where you're opening up some new chapters into your life. The story has not yet been written. It's feeling like you're coming into a phase there, Virgo, where you're not sure exactly how things are going to go. Some element of the unknown there with that book. But I feel as though, the birds are letting us know, be excited for this new chapter, okay? Be excited to sort of come whatever may. I feel as though, this is why we saw that that inspirational sort of quote there, to follow your intuition, because I feel as though your intuition is really telling you to get excited about this new path, this new chapter that you're starting with your life at the moment. I feel as though it's going to sort of really pay off for you there, Virgo. And then when the birds is interacting with that scales card there, it is, definitely telling you need to sit down and have a bit of a conversation with yourself at the same time. So talking to yourself and about balancing, okay, about the balance in your life at the moment. So finding that sense of balance between everything that you've got going on, but mostly finding that balance energetically. Okay, so like we saw with that that little statement at the start there, finding that balance between logic and then your intuition. Okay, finding that balance of you know, my brain tells me this, but my heart wants to follow this, and finding that compromise. Okay, so I feel as though you might be having to just talk to yourself a little bit more about how you are going to find that balance for yourself. Okay, because with balance comes a lot of peace and harmony, and it does sort of play out along the rest of, you know, pretty much everything gets affected by that there. And so with this new chapter coming into your life, you know, as long as you're feeling that sense of balance, like your brain telling you this is a good idea to start this new chapter in particular, whatever it is in particular for you, and then as long as your heart is supporting that, you will be finding that balance. Okay, so when I see the balance card, I really do read that quite a lot as finding that balance between, you know, your logical thoughts, what you feel like you should do in a situation, and then following your heart of what you actually want to do. So it's finding that compromise between the two of them, and making sure they're both sort of on the same page. Okay. But what energy does Virgo have around them at the moment, please? Main energies headed towards Virgo. Okay, so a pretty straightforward message for you here, Virgo, when it comes to the energies that are sort of that you're able to draw on that are around you at this time. We are seeing the Tower, the Broom, followed by that Stars. Okay, so the Stars is kind of letting us know the result, the outcome. Okay, but this is what we need to do in order to get to that outcome. Okay, so it's a pretty straightforward message, just letting us know that pretty much anything from the past that, you know, has put you into, you know, like a bit of, you know, because sometimes when you see the Tower, you think of like Rapunzel up in her tower, all by herself. Okay, so anything that's put you into that sort of solitude type, feeling like you know, things in the past. I'm talking about things in the past. This is definitely a past energy coming through with this. But, you know, it's feeling like all the times in the past when you've had to, you know, be a pillar of light by yourself, you know, when you've had to stand alone and you know, be this strong tower. All those times that has held you back in the past, it's really now is the time to sweep them away, sweep them under the rug, you know, get rid of the dirt, basically. That's what that's coming through as, is that it's just talking about clearing that all out, and that's I feel as though we're talking once again about that balance and being able to find that balance. With you, it does feel as though you're holding on to some things in the past where you've had to be this quite strong tower, for somebody else, maybe just when it comes to for yourself, and you've it's holding quite a lot of solitude with it. Okay, so it's when you've had to be super strong all by yourself. Okay, and just sweeping away any resentment, any anger towards those times in the past is quite important for you to help find this balance at the moment. So I hate to say it, but it does sound like, you know, needing to forgive maybe others, but also yourself for having to be so strong and independent, you know, in past situations, and sweeping that away, and moving forward away from that kind of energy. There is what I'm getting, and then, like I said, the stars are kind of the answer to that, because once you are able to clear out that energy, you know, all your wishes are going to start coming true. The stars really do talk about wish fulfillment. Okay, so pardon, sorry. They really do talk about your hopes and desires and having some huge amounts of optimism for the future. Okay, so clearing out all that past energy that might feel as though it's holding you back a little bit there, and you know, really looking forward to these new chapters, the future, because you're going to start seeing all your sort of wishes coming true. So that's gorgeous energy around you at the moment there, Virgo. We'll just see, is there anything else Actually, I'll move straight. I don't feel as though that's right for your energy, but I'll move straight over into the more reality side of the reading, where we will look at sort of the more day-to-day stuff, what's going on in the reality of situations and the reality around you at the moment, Virgo. What's most important for Virgo to know at the moment, please? I have sort of put a lot of pre-intention into these cards, so they do know we're talking about reality now. Okay, and why is that important for Virgo to know about their reality right now, please? Okay. Okay, so firstly we're seeing the sun, which is kind of letting me know that we're looking at something that once brought you a lot of happiness. So we are actually looking at that energy that we saw around you there, that moving on from the past, sweeping that thing out from the past there. This is actually what we're talking about. At one point it did bring you quite a lot of happiness, Virgo. It maybe even gave you that sense of home, that sense of stability, but there were some things revealed about that particular situation, and it did bring around a bit of loss, and it has been chewing away at you. Okay, so with the mouse there, we do see something that has been eating away at you a little bit, in the more logical reality sense of things. And it was definitely something that once brought you a lot of happiness, Virgo. But we're not sort of seeing that anymore. I'm feeling as though it's it may be a past relationship or connection or something like that, because we are feeling a bit of loss with the mouse card there as well, feeling like you lost a sense of happiness when you lost that thing or that situation. Okay, and that's sort of part of what we need to sweep away in our past, I feel, as well, because the more that we're clinging on to this and letting it eat away at us, the more that it will affect us in that negative way and will stop those wishes from sort of coming on through. So I feel as though this is sort of letting us know a little bit more about what it is that was what's been eating away at you there, Virgo, and what was that past energy that we do need to sweep away, okay, and deal with and balance, find that balance once again, because then when I've clarified that, it is sort of talking about, once again, we're seeing the book energy coming on through, followed by the mountain. Okay, so it's talking about needing to put in a bit of hard work to get to these new chapters. All right, so you may have felt that there's been some obstacles or challenges when it comes to this situation that you have kind of lost, possibly just a delay, but it is feeling more like like an obstacle, a challenge that you have faced in the past, that you're now having to actually put in a bit of hard work to move away from that, and understand that even though it did once bring you a lot of happiness, accepting that happiness as it was. You obviously were quite happy in the past, but that is past now. Okay, so we are having to put in some energy, some, a bit of hard work, in order to climb that mountain and get to the top. Because once you get to the top of that mountain, you'll be able to see your way clear, and these new chapters really will start to be able to open up for you. But it also does talk about, finally being able to, I feel as though there's an element here where you're actually going to start being able to see the truth of that situation, and that's going to help you sweep that back into the past where it's supposed to be. All right, because it is supposed to be in the past, whatever that situation is. We did see that with that tower energy previously there, and then with this mouse energy as well. It feels as though you are sort of allowing something to eat away at you a little bit, but soon we'll be seeing a bit more truth to that situation. It will be revealed to you just a little bit more that that happiness was fantastic. It was a happy time back then, but it is in the past, I feel, is what we're looking at there, Virgo, is just sort of that acceptance that, even though you were really happy and it did bring you a lot of happiness, that is now past energy, and we're actually focusing on moving towards these new opportunities, these new chapters. Your story is, when we're not even halfway through your book yet. Okay, so it's really looking at writing where you want the rest of your story to go. Okay, and not focusing on where the story has been in the past, but where you want that story to go next. All right, and then we're seeing that reinforced, I should say, by that lily card. Okay, so the lily really does talk about, having that kindness for yourself, and it does hold quite a lot of longevity and long-term factors with that. So these new chapters that you are going to be writing are going to be for your long-term success. They are going to be definitely, things that are going to be in your life for a longer time from now. And like I said, we did see quite a lot of happiness surrounding those in the future. They're your wishes coming true. Okay, so they're going to be sticking around for the long term. So that's what we want to hear when it comes to the wishes that are getting fulfilled. They are going to be sticking around. But there is that element too of, having that kindness and that virtuous kind of energy towards yourself, seeing the innocence of yourself within certain situations, and just within yourself as a person as well. We all have that innocence and virtuous side, even if we have done horrible things. That's separate. We still are quite virtuous, when it comes to our heart space. Okay, so as we saw with that initial thing there as well, starting to follow your intuition and your inspiration will lead to those wishes, rather than allowing yourself to get stuck too much thinking things over and letting them chew away at you. So really following your heart and walking into these new chapters with a lot of hope and optimism, because those wishes definitely are coming true for you there. And also a little bit of I feel emotional vulnerability with yourself as well. With that lily card, it does sort of advise us that there is an aspect of needing to be a little bit more kinder to yourself, but emotionally vulnerable with yourself. Okay, because if you can't be emotionally vulnerable with yourself, how would you expect to be emotionally vulnerable with anyone else? All right, but I'll grab you a couple of oracle cards looking specifically at love there. So Virgo and love energy for Virgo, please. Love energy for Virgo, please. And one more. Okay, so I feel that straight away we're talking about that past energy. Okay, so we are seeing the Grim Reaper coming through, and that does say the relationship is over, no second chances, grow and transform your life. Okay, so I feel as though that's talking about that mouse energy, whatever it is that's been chewing away at you, that you were once happy there. Okay, but it's over. I'm sorry, but it is sort of letting us know it is over. It is in the past. It's now your opportunity to grow and transform your life from here on out. As then what we're seeing is the Cupid's arrow and the talking card there. Okay, so the talking card does say interested, conversing more, awaited messages arrive, text, call, email, hoovering. All right, so it does feel as though that may actually be just within yourself, talking a bit more to yourself about how we discussed that balancing at the start there, and about how we're going to deal with this Grim Reaper energy, how we're going to move past that and focus on the future, talking to yourself, conversing with yourself, how we're going to get past that energy there. But then the Cupid's arrow, I suppose, is the one you're all waiting to hear. It does say, have faith, love is coming, surprise, invitation or meeting, and hesitation. All right, so I feel as though that may be one of those wishes coming on in, but there is also that element too with the mountain card that, you know, the more work that you put into being the best version of yourself and following your intuition, the more hard work that you do put in on those fronts, you know, the more likely this will show up for you there, Virgo. All right. But I'll grab a couple of the letters, months, and signs. See if we can pull out any important letters, months, or signs for you there. Virgo with love connections, please. Virgo with love connections, please. And one more. Okay. So what we're seeing there, Virgo, I do have the month January. So January may be important. Something might have happened in past January. You may have met somebody past January that will actually become relevant once again. You know, there may have been something that happened in January, or could be somebody's birth month or things like that as well. We are seeing Cancer coming on through. So the Cancer energy there, that's actually not far away. Cancer season, not far away at all. All right, so there may be something coming up soon when it comes to meeting somebody new, those sorts of things. Obviously, we are reading for a collective, so, you know, this is not going to resonate for everybody, but, you know, we can be talking about time frames that are important, may have been important in the past. Also looking at, yeah, possible birth months of people and so on as well. Now, the letters that we have drawn out for you there, I am getting the letter F, the letter N, the letter G, and the letter C. Okay, and sometimes I get words coming through with the letters as well. And when I said G, I got go. Okay, so if there's something that you've been not sure about, I'm feeling that, you know, go might just be sort of letting somebody out there know that go, it's time to start this new chapter. And F, I did actually hear when I saw the F first. Okay, so that may actually be like representative of like a one, so like the first as well, you know, the first of a month or something like that might be important to somebody out there as well. All right, but that's what we've got for you today, Virgo. As always, if it doesn't resonate for you, please feel free to check your other signs, whatever's you know, big for you. I usually find people's moon signs do resonate quite strongly for the way that I read as well. But also there, you know, make sure you do leave a comment and let me know if you resonated with any of that. You know, we also will be giving a free personal reading to somebody who comments when we do hit 100 subscribers. So make sure you comment and subscribe so you can keep updated when that comes around as well. But if this is where we leave each other, thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you all again soon.